So Lionel Messi walked into that World Cup final with a chance to complete the one thing missing from his legend. He walked out with silver instead of gold. Watching Rodri lift an award that honestly left half the football world scratching their heads. If you've been wondering how a player with 0 goals and 0 assists just beat the greatest of all time for the Golden Ball, stick around, because what happened at the 2026 World Cup Awards ceremony is going to change how you look at this entire tournament. There's a story hidden inside these trophies that nobody's talking about, and by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why Spain didn't just win a trophy. They swept an entire awards table that usually gets split 6 different ways. Before we get into it, if you're new here, welcome to Goal Verdict. This is where we break down football the way it actually deserves to be broken down. No fluff, just real analysis. Hit that subscribe button and tap the like if you're into honest football talk. Because trust me, today's breakdown is going to spark a debate in the comments, and I want to see where you land on this. Now, let's rewind for a second, because I owe you all an explanation. Before this tournament kicked off, I told you Argentina was walking away with this trophy. I broke down their spine, their experience, Messi's hunger for one final crown, and on paper, that read was solid. But football doesn't get decided on paper. It gets decided in 90, sometimes 120 minutes of chaos, and Spain simply refused to lose. My prediction banked heavily on Argentina's experience, carrying them through knockout pressure, the same way it did in 2022. What I underestimated was Spain's midfield control, the kind that doesn't just win matches, it strangles the life out of opponents before they even get a sniff of the game. That's on me, and I'll take that L, because a real analyst owns the misses, not just the hits. So let's talk about what actually happened in that final. Spain beat Argentina 1-0 in extra time at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. And the goal came from substitute Ferran Torres in the 106th minute. Think about that for a second. 105 minutes of a locked, tension-filled final. Okay, and it's a guy who wasn't even starting who ends up writing his name into Spanish football history forever. That's the kind of moment that separates champions from runners-up, having the depth on your bench to change a game when the starters are running on fumes. Now, here's where things get interesting, because right after that final whistle, FIFA handed out the individual awards, and Spain didn't just do well, they dominated. Rodri took home the Golden Ball as the tournament's best overall player. Unai Simón grabbed the Golden Glove for Best Goalkeeper, and 19-year-old Pau Cubarsí walked away with Best Young Player. 3 of the 4 major individual honors, all going to one team. The only award that slipped away from Spain was the Golden Boot, and that one went to Kylian Mbappé, who finished the tournament with 10 goals in 8 matches, to more than Messi's 8. Let's slow down on Rodri for a second, because this is the pick that's got everyone arguing. Statistically, he didn't score a single goal. He didn't record a single assist, and yet he walked away with the most prestigious individual honor in the sport. So, was it deserved? Here's my honest take. Rodri controlled the tempo of nearly every match Spain played. He completed more passes than anyone else in the tournament, covered more distance, and was involved in more total plays than any other player on the pitch. Spain conceded exactly 1 goal in 8 games, and a massive part of that defensive record traces back to Rodri sitting in front of the back line, reading danger before it even develops. It's not a flashy game. It's not the kind of performance that fills highlight reels, but if you're judging the award by its actual name, Best Overall Player, not Best Goal Scorer, then Rodri's case holds up better than people want to admit. But let's be real, Messi made him sweat for it. Messi finished with 8 goals and 4 assists, and if he'd scored just 2 more in that final, this conversation doesn't even happen. He settled for the silver ball instead, okay? And there's a real argument that the sentimental pull toward Messi's farewell run should have tipped the scales. Football awards aren't just about stats, they're about narrative too. And Messi, at 39 years old, dragging Argentina to a World Cup final, was one of the great stories of this entire tournament, even in defeat. Now, let's talk Mbappé, because this one's less controversial, but still worth breaking down. 10 goals in 8 games, 4 assists, and he capped it off with a brace in the third-place match, a wild 6-4 game against England. At 27 years old, this is his second Golden Boot, and it cements him as the player with the most World Cup goals in tournament history. Nobody's really disputing this one. The numbers speak for themselves. Mbappé simply scored more than anybody else on the planet during this tournament, and that's exactly what the award is designed to reward. Then there's Unai Simón, and honestly, this might be the most underappreciated award of the entire night. 7 clean sheets in 8 matches, a save percentage over 90%, and Spain conceding just a single goal across the whole tournament. That's not just good goalkeeping, that's historically elite. 9 career World Cup clean sheets puts him one shy of the all-time record. Okay, if there was ever a lock among these 4 awards, it was this one. And finally, Pau Cubarsí, 19 years old, taking home Best Young Player over his own teammate Lamine Yamal, 2 teenagers from Barcelona, both playing massive roles in a World Cup winning campaign. And Cubarsí edged it out with composure at the back that honestly looked like it belonged to a 10-year veteran, not a teenager in his first senior tournament. So here's the real question hanging over all of this. Did Spain actually deserve to sweep these awards? Or did the trophy itself just create a halo effect that pulled voters toward their players across the board? My take, split down the middle. Simón and Mbappé completely deserved. The numbers don't lie there. Kylian and Cubarsí deserved but debatable. And I think if either Messi or Yamal had produced just one more moment of magic in the final, we'd be having a completely different conversation right now. What do you think? Was Rodri the right call for Golden Ball? Or should Messi have gotten his fairy tale ending? Drop your take in the comments. I read every single one. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you subscribe to Goal Verdict, because we've got a lot more of these debates coming. See you in the next one.